be the World Eater that chewed off Out-of-Date's leg. You'll need a hat trick to bring that down. The World Eaters have made their marks on our world over time. That's not the first nor the last village it'll leave in its wake. Look, a survivor. Glad to see someone made it out alive. He's heard the stories about the terror inflicted by the World Eaters to other enclaves, but never expected one to come all the way here. He worries there won't be much left to save if this continues, even if the Tree of Life survives the attack. He doesn't know what your connection is to this place, but something tells him you've stayed true to your heart. Anyway, he needs help and says it's by your... He's grateful for that. You still seem to have a spark of light in you.
That's a spark of light in you!
That's right. Smack that spark out before it starts.
You don't have to be so harsh. It's such a little spark.
Take it out now while it's small.
There's always another spark.
There's Out-of-Date again. He must have missed something important. Out-of-Date says you will make a better stand against the World Eaters with the support of a tribe, and there are two nearby. The Myriad tribe is likely to be a... Regardless. The Myriad's conviction to stop the World Eaters began when the Leviathans rose from the depths of the surf. Siding with the Myriad's movement for wholeness in a fragmented world might seem like the logical thing to do, but is it the right thing? One thing's certain, though. Destiny arrives all the same. The Jagni tribe only ever had one conviction: to bring balance to the world by wiping out the weak. They believe a cleansing is necessary to restore the world and want to let the World Eaters bring down the Tree of Life. But siding with Jagni isn't necessarily a bad thing. Fate will find a way.
Yuba Duluwawa.
Out of Date says someone needs to break the stalemate and shift the balance of power to either Jagni's or Myriad's side.
Bubuko von Yunyu. Mpa. Wherefore? Where?
He believes the tribe Sifus, Myriad especially, will listen to you and expect...
Papa Mofobak. Mpa. Wherefore? Where?
He can sense you share Myriad's view on the world. The Myriad would embrace someone willing to fight against the tyranny of the Jagni.
Alu Butulua Bubuko von Yunyu.
Out of Date will be waiting for you beneath the Tree of Life if you lose track of what you need to do.
Loma Toaha.
Regard... Another fork in the road. It's either the tunnel or the motor bridge. What'll it be? It's unusual that natural tunnels like this still exist. Most of them got flooded. That's going to leave a mark. This area was beautiful before the tribe war began. Look at it now. It's a war zone. That's the Myriad tribe's fortress. Will they be friends or foe? You should head up there. That way you'll know. Let's see. It's a beaten path to that door. If you go there, you'd better make an entrance. Says they're wary of strangers. They're at war. They've already got word of an intruder, so he guesses the Sifu must be very interested in meeting you.
Sibi? La fanen agin kan man. Gerat na fal hutut mus. Tugai la wute.
The Myriad tribe act on understanding of the greater good and a code of honor. They believe uniting the tribes is the only way to restore the peace. The Sifu is convinced that defeating the World Eaters and saving the Tree of Life is the only way to make the world a better place. He welcomes you to the Myriad fort and introduces himself as the tribe's Sifu. But he was hoping you'd show up. The news of a vigilante Ronin on crusade crossing the Great Wall through the crack... The wall that separates them from the other side? The wasteland you came from? He guesses the time spent there just left a blank space in your memory, as empty and barren as the wasteland itself. He's convinced you've returned for a reason, and is glad you chose to come here. There's something about your spirit that sparks memories of you as a kidling. He can still sense you're kind-hearted. The Sifu says sometimes one memory can make another come to life. He hasn't thought about your Muma for ages, even though she taught him a lot. He was one of the original Wang Fu disciples. Your Muma invented Wang Fu. Originally, it consisted of unarmed combat and the 6 weapons: the boomerang, the shuriken, the bow, the staff, the nunchuk, and the hook and chain. The Sifu says it's time to set the past aside, at least for now. Unrest is sweeping the land, and there are rivals in all directions. Myriad wants unity between the tribes. Their goal is understanding of the greater good and establishing a code of honor. If you believe there's some good in everyone, there's still hope for tomorrow. You'll unite the tribes and defeat the World Eaters to save the Tree of Life. He was hoping you'd join them. You understand that there's no harm in doing good to others. The Sifu was waiting for something to tip the balance in their favor, and with you by... The Jagni tribe may believe that fear and hatred will lead them to domination. A vanquisition of the tribes and destruction of the Tree of Life won't be the restart they want. It's just an end to everything. Their kin have run out of options and found themselves backed into a corner. Even those who desire peace have been forced to prepare for war. They might bring them war, but they'll never take away their inner peace. He wants you to focus. These are the new rival outposts your tribe needs to take control of. He says you'll regret not being on their side. The only way you'll learn their secrets, Wung Fu and the tribe weapon now, is if you defeat him. And that will never happen. You both have gentle minds. Once you've dealt with the rival's outpost, they passed the point of no return as their words lost power and see no other way forward. Seeing you bring... Anyway, the memories you make with your family are strong and can He can't blame you for not remembering, but he can sense the stillness of something lost. You have things to do, places to go to. It's time for you to revisit the past. Can't understand why you don't just give up on helping things. Says goodbye to you. Thinks Myriad and Lotus would make a tough match-up these days. Wouldn't be surprised if you met again.
Jullegen kulmaamme pällykö. Namplasinam taut blau.
Sparkles about how brilliant it is to have someone like you that shares both genetics and karma in the Myriad spectrum.
Tulu madru tulu uchuru.
Understands completely. The vendor says you can browse his goods any time during opening hours. Says the place hasn't been doing as much business lately, so there's plenty for you to choose from. Could trade your old things for new. Now you're in the green. That worked out. The gatekeeper welcomes you back to the fort. Says you'll meet again. Let's see. Better beware, that's a mump up ahead. They were hit hard by evolution, the wonky ones especially, deformed and unfurred. Person. Slash. Time is lost on this place, but it evokes a tingling sensation. There's something special about it, drawing you closer. Let's see.